they came to play. They take an early lead in this best of 3 against PRX on Lotus. I'm your host, Yingsu, and I'm joined by Achilleos and Mimi once again on the desk. You know, you guys were a little bit disappointed with the Lotus we saw earlier today. What did you make of that one?
I was really happy about this one. I think both teams came out with some really interesting ideas. We got a chamber mirror matchup, which I didn't think we were going to see in 2023 at all. But I think that both decisions by these squads made a lot of sense. The game plans were both sound, but the adaptation on the fly from Cloud9 was just better.
Clearly, Chamber is still king, because both of the MVPs on either side are the Chamber players
so.
now. They both played incredibly well, at least for, the first half there for Forsaken. Things got a little bit wishy-washy, and Ye, he was just climbing the board steadily. Really solid performance out of him. You can nerf the Chamber, but you can't nerf Ye at the end of the day.
Yeah, you absolutely cannot. And to kind of contrast these two team styles, I think that the kind of biggest example of it was how they approached that A-long control. For Cloud9, it was always fighting forward with a Neon, with a Flash, whereas for the side of PRX here, they had a couple different ideas. In this one, you see Benkai boosting up on his wall, the kill here, and then leaving it. But what's great from C9 is they take that opportunity to just wait until the wall fades, walk through it together, and then make this really deep play into spawn. It's been a while since we have seen Vanity on an international stage, but this guy is still an excellent IGL at identifying gaps and calling his team to take those.
Yeah, it seemed like PRX was still trying to come up with new ideas, catch them off guard, but C9 just constantly had the correct read. That initial little tic-tac wall coming through, Benkai was trying to invent some new stuff and show off some new things, but it just seems like C9, especially at the half, had basically already downloaded the playbook from PRX, and they weren't really caught off guard at any other moment throughout.
Yeah, and I love the pace that Cloud9 took in that second half. They actually played things surprisingly slowly. We're just trying to work those gaps. Like you're saying, no Sentinel, and there's a lot of opportunities for Cloud9 to get in and find that opening where PRX isn't really expecting it.
Yeah, no, they're not. And I think even Mitch mentioned it in the cast, that it was very noticeable when Chamber, even though it was being good without the Cypher, without the Killjoy, I think there was a bit of an opening there, but hopefully they've learned from it and we're going to see something else the next time they play Lotus. But before we head into the next map, it's time for the AIM Lab shoot-around. Here is El Diablo, Ye in there, clicking the balls. He's at head this time, but
he's always got to show off with the small ones.
I know, and honestly, we have such high hopes for Ye, but time and time again, Achilleos, he is that player that just comes in and fulfills all of the expectations.
Yeah, I mean, again, we get to that half, and it's like, okay, Ye's looking decent. He's losing and whiffing a couple of these shots that we normally see him hit with a lot of consistency. And then by the time we get to the end of this map, it's just like, okay, Ye's still on top. He is still dominant. He just needed a little bit of a warm-up there, and then he just took the reins.
Yeah, and I hadn't really expected it heading into this matchup to see the Chamber, but thinking about it after watching that match, it makes so much sense. On the defensive side, there's so many places where you can still get that early peak, get that early value, and you see, I mean, Ye is just comfortable on it. Nerf or not, he still is able to kind of put together those right TPs to find his opportunity and absolutely frag out, as he always does.
And also, he said in that press conference, I am just so sick of playing Chamber.
Jay's like, I'm finally out of jail.
I'm out of the Chamber jail, get me off it. I get to play something fun, and then right back into the Chamber here. But we're going to move on to Pearl next, of course, for map 2. All I'm going to say is my body is very much ready for the PRX Phoenix. They played this map before, and they ran the double duelist Mimi, and Forsaken looked great on that Phoenix.
Both these teams were cooking some craziness on Pearl. Last time, and the only time we saw this version of C9 play, Ye was on Yoru, and did not look particularly good.
Yeah, that one, I'm all about Ye on non-chamber picks, but the Yoru, I think that we can kind of skip over that one when it comes down to it. We'll have to just wait and see what they do have cooked up for us, though. But from the side of PRX, you can expect that it's likely going to be crazy. I'm right there with you, so I'm hoping for that double duelist.
Yeah, and on the side of C9, I imagine they have reinvented their composition heading into this one. And my question is, who is going to be playing that dive role? Will it be another Celsius Neon map? What will Ye play in that case? Or do we maybe get the Jet? There's a lot of questions here for C9.
Well, let's have a look. We're into the Prime Gaming Agent select here, and it's a tiny bit of a spoiler over here, but by the looks of it, Ye is going to play Sage, and Celsius is going to take Phoenix.
Okay, so this is an interesting one. You get Ye on the Sage. There's a lot of opportunity to op on that role, and the wall can be valuable, especially to get that plant down or for retakes on B long. The Phoenix, though, that's where my questions land.
Yeah, this is not exactly what I had anticipated, but I mean, a bit of a curveball. The pun's literally not intended. Coming through here as they pick up the Phoenix. I was actually very curious as to whether or not PRX is going to be running that raise again, because they have that Sage. You get that boost, get that peek over into B long, but not to be.
Yeah, we'll have to see if he has the hot hands. Maybe they'll blaze a trail with some new composition here.
Oh, Mimi, I love it. I love it. The comp from PRX is a little bit too normal for me, Tom and Mitch. I'm a little bit worried. I don't know what to expect here. What do you guys think?
I'm not sure, Tom. Where are you going with this one? Certainly not the comps I was expecting rolling into today.
The thing is, I don't mind the Phoenix. I feel like it's got similar feel to when you see it on Haven. Like, because of that mid control, you can sort of gather up. You got the doors.
Repeating everything I tell you when I pick it in ranked, aren't you?
No.
Except you tell me it's a silly idea every time.
Do you know what the difference is?
No, I don't want to hear it.
Zelsus is good at the game.
He's all right, okay?
Can,
you know, I've done some aim practice myself. I've been on aim labs. You know, I know what's up. It's all good. Don't worry. I'd say his aim's probably a little bit better than me, though. So we'll expect.
You're very good at flashing people. Just the ones on your team.
That is good. Yeah, it's just the wrong team that I'm hitting, unfortunately. You know, the thing is for me, I love the Phoenix here, though, seriously, because of the amount of those close corners to get those flashes around, the amount of times you're going to be able to use the utility on the way into sights, block sightlines, flash out of it, and do some serious damage. And then, add to that, you've got Zeppa, who's already, we saw in the previous map, on fire when it comes to getting them that space through smokes.
Getting into B as well, you're going to have the ability to sort of flash through your own utility and take those fights. You could even do the same using the abundance of different walls you have as well with Vanity's utility. But already, underway we go, straight back in with our second map of PRX versus Cloud9. And it is an aggressive start once again for PRX. They are already taking full A control. Vanity has the spike. He needs to get out of here.
Yeah, Forsaken and Jing, they spot the contact and they run right back, conceding the control, and maybe grabbing the orb on the way out of there. And they might intend to after.
Look at where all of the utility is for Benkai. It's basically just trying to stop them taking that back of sight. The second the turret takes contact, they don't really have anywhere else to go. So he just wants to make sure it's easier to try and retake it from there. And the second they try and move, they're forced into the open. A kill for free, but they don't manage to win the rest of the fights.
Yeah, look, a great setup, great execution on it, but the return was there immediately. The heal going back up, and well, bar 30 HP on Vanity. This is a huge advantage to play with, and he's going to be just snuck up close on the wall, playing with his team. Now, right behind's being spotted, the turret, at least managing to find Divide. They know there's at least one, now spotting both. That's 2 out of 3. They'll focus a lot on taking, well, I thought maybe behind on fighting, but instead they look forward. They look to take Jing. This is going to leave them in a bit of an awkward position. Good old Leaf is alone, and he doesn't give a damn. 3 kills, damage done, Mind Freak on 30. Round should be over. Getting this defuse, near impossible. That nano not going to be in play, but just one bullet, and it was bound to find its mark. Another pistol to start off the map, going to C9.
Yeah, I think Jing may have accidentally screwed himself there. He tried to basically trap them in so that they couldn't rotate back around and fight him, but not realizing that the Sage Wall on the other side had him trapped in. So he basically just had to peek straight into a headshot angle, and it made it very, very easy for them to pick him off. Then the remaining players could just all watch towards long.
Those 2 of those kills were just obscene. He spammed a smoke and killed someone, and then a pixel? I don't even know that he could see him. Okay, well, you know, fair play. That's one way to kick things off, Leaf. You know, over on PRX, we saw a very close start to the map, but they really, really tapered off at the end. We can't have that happening this time around. It's their opponent's map pick. And on the defense, you know, there's a lot of complications here. I know that you're going to be playing retake a lot with the comp you're up against. That Phoenix wall in particular can be so valuable for just getting you into elbow, denying all of that space. And it's exactly what you see them do. Pop the wall, you're now in elbow, and when this goes down, they're actually stood there waiting. Very smart not to push the elbow up against the pistols, and they get the reward here, 4v2.
Yeah, a couple of low players. Actually, Jing's going to get one with the right click. A nice shot, but they'll manage to retrieve most of the weaponry anyway. They had some low buys on the majority of players and just a couple of rifles to bring through. So not the end of the world for C9, but still a little bit of damage for PRX.
For a second, I thought I was sort of on the same wavelength as Zelsus. He's like 20 HP, he has a flash, and I thought he's going to flash and Zep is going to push with the Stinger, right? That kind of makes sense. but he pushed. He went first, got classicked, and then the stinger followed. They did get the trade, which is what you want at the end of the day, but he knew he was going down for the
They're
trouble.
going all in. They have actually just purchased up around this to make sure they have that 4-buy into this round. Still with a little bit of extra cash in the bank. Benkai's already gone.
Oldorp, there it is.
He was expecting that he would have maybe an easier fight because of the weaponry. Now you have yourself to run it back online as well.
And that's because Zelsis ran into elbow last round. If he flashed for his teammate, he wouldn't have that orb. He wouldn't have the ult. And now he can use that to take space. Although, they might need to take space in their own spawn looking at things. 3 players here, updraft, spots him, leave, still gets massive value. And Oh, you smart boy, mind freak, you absolute animal. He snuck past one, managed to completely evade the Phoenix, shut down a kill, and now he's trapped them. Gorgeous round, what a recovery. Zeppa has to do it all. The flash there, Seeker's online, but he's got a good idea where Jing is. Waits a moment, pops in, and he's got to win this fight.
Oh, he tries to go for the wall, tries to get something out of it, but instead it's going to be the Red Bull clutch coming through from Zeppa. I believe he's still yet to die. Just having a fantastic start to this map, 7-0, and a real back and forth round, Mitch. That could have gone either way.
It really could have, but again, Zeppa, the difference maker. You know, we saw Leaf having a good start to it. A mind freak, what a good attempt. You really can't take that away from him. The plant position was perfect. The Phoenix luckily was far enough back to not get caught.
That's got to be frustrating for Jing as well. He gets the wall down, maybe he can get it to half before actually having to take a fight, and instead, it's just going to be that one player remaining. But that's enough. Still a purchase on the side of C9. It's not the greatest in the world, but when you look at what's on the other side, I don't think you're going to mind too much.
I got to say, the watch parties for each team, man, you can see the regions coming out to support them. Crazy hours. We've had a bunch of teams, 6, 7, 8 a.m., and it's packed out. The energy's high, you'd love to see it. Right here, though, the PRX scene. We saw they were disappointed. We saw the same from Alex. A bad reaction from the coach as they now force themselves down to an eco, just a few pistols, a Marshall. And really in these rounds, you're relying on catching them on the way into the site. The post plant is much harder to deal with.
Almost acting as a turret from above. Ye is just going to mow them down as they attempt to enter the site. Not a single frag being found. And, well, Benkai's flank is much to be desired. Ye has definitely realized that this is possible. A nice shot. The IGL still got it. Can he get anything more? Yes, he can. Nice.
Well done.
Couple of kills coming through. Again, a bit of cost, and bear in mind the economy isn't great for C9, so anything being removed is going to help in the future, but they now need to win a round. Bladestorm online for Forsaken, but he's getting that operator to go alongside it, and they do have the full rifles this time.
This is the opportunity for sure. Ulti's there to back them up. Maybe a safety net that they can fall back on. You know, I said the post plant, but then they ended up actually killing 4 people before planting, just constantly attempting it and then getting another duel offered up, baiting them into the fights, shutting them down, and just the control we're seeing from C9 right now is hard to imagine them giving an easy round away. This is one that PRX will have to fight hard for right away. You've got a smoke and a flash from Zelsis. That was a close shot, but Forsaken returns one of his own.
Yeah, this is what we wanted to see. Operator in hand. A chance now to take those brawls on to be long. Has a little bit of support. In fact, I'm looking, yeah, the utilities in behind them. Maybe expecting them to try and get a little bit more aggressive.
I mean, this kind of sucks from the perspective of PRX. They played retake on B so much, and for the last 20 seconds, they've had 3 players over there with 1 on the double doors. This is the round that they're kind of relying on fighting them on the way through and punishing a little bit more, having that 5v4, but instead, the team looked to make it towards A, so as C9 moved towards A, it was maybe going to be bad with just 1 player there. The PRX now seem to be shifting yet again, playing the retake on B finally. And then C9, as if they can look across the stage at their monitors, have gone back to B. They've played this round with such patience, and PRX have almost just outthought themselves.
Yeah, the lockdown in play, it almost seems like this utility is just a plan to try and stop them pushing to get rid of it. They're not going to be able to do anything against it. Any attempt to push up is not going to do a single thing, and that will be held. Rez will bring back Zeppa, so they're just going to hold in that backline. And now the full force of PRX has made it into position, but there is that wraparound. However, that info will be had.
Oh, he is on the way so quickly. The distraction here from Zelsis could be huge. He's just going to be popping the flash through, keeping these players on their toes. There it is, the swing, the kill, but all the while they're just waiting for this flank to be completed. Oh, they're watching it! PRX ready for everything! Their spidey senses started to tingle, and that'll get around on the board.
Yeah, that util setup, I will say from Benkai is one. I've just been staring at it the entire round. It's either an attempt to stop them going back down the stairs with the alarm bots at the bottom, so I can only assume it's an attempt to stop them breaking the lockdown. So the whole plan was to attempt to try and retake on B while having to stack up on the other side of the map. But even still, that is a lot of utility committed just for that one purpose.
It is, and it's, you know, the first round we see on the boards is not necessarily going to be something we certainly expect to repeat itself. There you go. Those people certainly want that to be the case.
It's like 7 a.m. now.
It is, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Like, all of those guys just ready to watch their team play. Zelsis is a little bit stuck. They're going to have heard him within the slow. The combination, nice to force them back, and again, that space going to be taken. Prowler will get the information that they're no longer there, but on the other side of the map, Forsaken has just walked up, taken complete control.
That's an interesting angle. He's, I don't want to call that holding, preparing to swing on out. This is, of course, waiting for a flash to come around from the sky so he could avoid being seen by it even, and then catch the kill. But eventually he'll fall back, play the long angle on B.
Oh,
The A side might need help.
The thing is, though, trade back, turn things into a 4 versus 4. Benkai is still hiding close with the judge, but instead they're going to pressure onto Jing, waiting patiently. First one goes his way. He's going to go back for more, maybe a bit of an overface. Gives a chance again in this round. Benkai tries something crazy. They're taking damage, but every peek just hands Leaf a kill. And while Devi, there's a couple of low players, but he is nowhere near the action. Maybe a little bit of hesitation here from C9. Which direction do they go?
I think Leaf is trying to fake the steps over for Devi, so he hears him running and thinks, oh yeah, that's probably the straggler. That's the last guy going over to the other side of the map. They're going to plant on B, and in fact, they're waiting, baiting, and catching another round, an immediate response to what now looks to be a flash in the pan for PRX. They're going to call a timeout to try and solve these issues. And again, very good time for it, because right now, it's starting to feel like second half of map 1.
Yeah, no, they are getting
Look
bodied.
at that nod, that confidence from MCE. He knows that his team, they can't put a foot wrong.
That's the thing at the moment. You look at the upgrades that were made for C9. You're talking about Ye, the best player in the world. You're talking about Zelsis, someone who has fit so many roles for the different teams he's been in. Fantastic individually. Right now, it's the old core. Leaf and Zappa are just on fire. 10-4, 10-2. Leaf has had a round where he basically just stopped every single piece of aggression. He was pushed by an initial face, a judge, and then an operator. Took all 3 heads off and then faked out the rotation to give his teammates that space. It's difficult to play against PRX because they're so off the cuff. They're insane sometimes, but they seem to be reading them perfectly.
That's the thing, PRX, so often we have seen teams that just cannot deal with the pace they bring to the table. They come out swinging, they catch you off guard, and they make some crazy adaptations. But here, it looks like Cloud9 are just one step ahead. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what to say. Their defense looked incredible. Coming into this map, their attack is near flawless, bar the one round, which was, you know, populated by a lot of ultimates out of the side of PRX. And now again, we come into this round, an important one for PRX, where they're putting their economy on the line. But take a look, they're still coming in with, I mean, what's happening here for Ben and Devi? And add to that, C9 have a run it back. They also have a lockdown, and they're very close to having Seekers.
Oh, this is so aggressive. This is straight push through. It's just going to be the 1-for-1 trade. And the thing is, they do have a res. The problem is, this space is not being given up. In fact, Zelsis is going to push to try and take more of it. The slow is going to stop him. The wall will do even more. He's not going to be able to get anything with the amount of time that was left.
It was close, though. He almost got a bullet off. If that slow goes down, 0.2 of a second later, I reckon he gets a kill out of that. But in the end, okay, he's reset. And that early space is sort of denied. It's slowed down for sure. Problem is that kill they got was one of the rifles. Benkai and Devi are at a huge disadvantage in any fight they take.
Are they going to go around behind them? Maybe expecting them to eventually take this A site. The only way they could get that res is to go around the back. Now the lockdown's going to deny them much of a chance for any heroics. not really in a place where they can just run back into the site and opt to fight them. And C9 playing this one desperately safe, making sure there's no shenanigans here. It's a bait, though. Or is it? It looked like a bait. The spike was going in the other direction. C9 have now just got that control for free and sort of realizing, okay, we could fake this out. We could try and go into the setup of Benkai, but it just isn't worth it anymore. And with the wraparound catching, Mind Freak, A-site is open for business.
So many teams would have walked into that trap. They would have given Ben something, at least the information. He was solo holding the B site. You got to give props to him. He's coming into this round with a shorty so that he can just sit in a corner on B, have his utility play contact, and let his team try to work that A control. Ambitious, a good idea. That's why we saw that hyper-aggressive start to make up for the weakness on B. But again, it's just met by this fantastic adaptation from C9. They are so quick on their toes. And it seems like they're always making the right call, even in that round where they went B at the start, then they went A. And then, when those players are stacked up on A with whatever little hints they're getting, they went back to B and walked onto the site for free. It's consistent beyond belief.
Oh, Benkai. Not really much to save in this scenario. At least he's going to be able to find a gun, so just going to run into the spike, at least get the extra credits. The problem is, that's really where they're vulnerable again. This wasn't an eco. This wasn't them saving. There wasn't them attempting to get a purchase for the next round. That was a full investment. And C9 made it look like an eco. They really didn't struggle with that at all.
And I'm not going to fault the investment. Again, this is the kind of round that we know PRX for. You come in and assume they'll play low buy. They drop over 2 weapons. They're playing weak on 2 guys, one of which is just going to be support running up anyway, so he doesn't need it, and the other's solo B, just playing off his utility. So I love the approach. The ideas are fantastic, but C9 are ready every time. And these risks not paying off. Now we're left to pistols again. Somehow this will be the round PRX end up taking. Hello! Benkai just ran up beside them, but shy of any impact. The flash did catch him, it's worth saying.
Yeah, the trade's effective once again for C9. Moving as a unit versus this weaker purchase. They will have spotted that on the scoreboard. Operator in play for Ye as he looks to lead the charge. I won't lie, he hasn't had the most to do so far in this game, and, well... He was ready. Okay. Completely executed. I think the updraft hurt by Ye, the only angle he could possibly be in. 7-1 right now in favor of Cloud9. There needs to be a response, and it has to be right now.
Not the scoreline PRX wanted to field here in Brazil, and what a way it would be to go out of this tournament, a team that we know from making deep runs. As I said in the past, both of these rosters lost out to Team Liquid. We saw, actually, very recently, the start of this map, I believe, we threw up a statistic, and if I'm not mistaken, it was 763 days, might have been the previous map, actually, was the Core 4 had their first official of this PRX squad. They have been together 763 days, only ever swapping out one player at a time, making the best roster decisions we've seen in the scene, or at least top 5 for sure.
Aggressive. Oh, the flash is perfect, but he does just about manages to dash away. Zeus has done so well to just deny any space being taken. The amount of times that he has just pushed PRX all the way back, and this composition, well, it should work for them sitting back with the amount of utility they have, but it hasn't. A missed shot for Forsaken, he's out of there. Now it's left onto Mind Freak. He has to be that anchor, and he gets absolutely nothing as well. The rotation coming through from Divide, but it's one and done. Another easy take for Cloud9 as they are destroying this PRX side, destroying one of the hopes of Pacific. Namojing, yeah, he's got a res, but he needs a few kills before he can get anywhere near a teammate.
Yeah, he's got to be picking them off. Even if there was a teammate right in front of him, you're not doing it in this 1v4, but 2v4 as it would be if the res was free. In the end, I think the call is save it, and you're walking right. Well, he's actually able to walk right past that wall, so it's not too bad. But yeah, this time's just gone way too much. Saving the weapon now seems to be the main challenge, and they know where he is. They might want to deny it, and with Ye holding the angle, he was never getting out of there. 8-1. The lead extends further in Cloud9's favor. We were sat at 4-3. Hell, we went into round 16, 8-7. And here we are. I feel like PRX have gone missing ever since then, and there's no sign of them coming back just yet.
No, it does just seem that C9 have got this on lock. There has been little to no response. As said, the only round they won was utilizing a lockdown and having sort of a cheeky setup to try and catch players rotating in behind. Other than that, well, every single push we've seen from them, those deep takes even with 3-4 players, most of the time has resulted in a single kill. That's all they've really managed to get. Other than that, it has been squeaky clean for Cloud9. They are looking like that super team that we sort of expected when this roster was formed, but coming into the tournament this early and looking this good, that is terrifying.
It's not just the fact that they're winning. It's not just the score against the team that they're against. It's how they're doing it.
Yeah.
It's just so meticulous. There's no gaps. Even when you had that little updraft play, obviously, you expect him on top of the wall. You heard him updrafting, but it's just like you get yourself in these weird little positions. You think, oh, I've got a good shot. Bang. Every time there's a response. Okay, let's see if PRX can get in there with the weak weapons on long range and a collateral kill later. We know that the answer is a resounding no. 9 looking to be on the board. It would be a... Well, let's not call it too early. That was a good shot with the gap in the smoke.
He's dead. These lurks as well. We've seen Vanity and Leaf pretty much trade places throughout rounds to get in behind them. And that was a 4-man stack.
30 seconds left.
And they eliminate the first few with utter ease, barely breaking a sweat. It might be warm in Brazil, but C9 are cool as a cucumber. Mind Freak, no hope. Leaf is just hitting every single shot. 9-1. This is not the way I thought this map was going to go. I was expecting another back and forth display, but right now, C9 are just better.
The last 20 rounds that we've seen have proven that, Tom. I mean, oh, look at it. Little flick, there you go. He's too good. And the fact that they line up and check it, you know, they heard contact early. They were being challenged for the map control. You sit there with a 4-man stack, eventually you have to peek at them with weaker weapons, of course.
I want to say, if PRX don't win this round with 5 ults, we just call it. we
Tom,
call it.
It's 9-1. That's not that ambitious of a call.
They've got to at least get a round. They've got to get something.
Well,
make it the curse.
Exactly.
Then maybe there's some hope. That's all we've got.
I didn't smell any sage burning when I walked in the building today. I put Golden Boy in charge, and he's let us down. So the curse might be live, but PRX need to get there. And that's a whole nother story. Zelsis immediately running it down. You can deafen him, but let's see you deal with them. Past the slow already. Molly in, wall up. They're going into heaven. They're going into their own spawn, taking the fight right to PRX. And they'll get a kill for their trouble before planting and leaving it for the retake. It just,
yeah, this is obscure. 3 players coming back through mid. They're going to grass forward as well and manage to find another, giving them the advantage once again. Lockdown put into play on either side, but they can just push into the spawn. And another cat! Just a couple of rounds in a row, he's managed to do so much. It's left not Forsaken, he's going to get caught by the ultimate as well. And sure, the same will happen to Vanity on the other side, but it doesn't matter. They had 5 ults. They managed to force players into some awkward fights. It meant nothing. It meant absolutely nothing. 10-1. This is devastating for PRX.
Tom, we were at 8-7, and I remember, oh, look at it. Look at it. Is that the same 2 players? Is that the same 2 players last time? It doesn't even matter. Yeah, honestly, just like, we were at 8-7. I said the exact words. What a treat of a game we've had. They've got 2 rounds since then. What is going on in 763 days? We have never seen a team challenge PRX like this. Cloud9 putting them to shame and showing that their map pick certainly has no weaknesses, not so far anyways, and I don't see any coming around the corner on their defense. It would have to be atrocious.
Well, at least that's one for Forsaken.
Okay.
He's trying to just take this into his own hands, give them the smallest amount of hope, but they've still got to deal with this push onto the site. Again, Zelsis has just been fantastic at taking this space. He hasn't dealt with Jing, still just sat in the back lines. Spike is going to go down, just trying to make a play through it. Try and take a bit of a risk. This jump up has been the bane of Ye's life. He's attempted it so many times and finally makes the move forward. An instant trade. Jing might not know he's above. Might not know, but he's realized with the wall that there has to be someone up there.
You expect it to. Look at Raz in here though, 5v2. It should be near impossible to deny. Are you kidding? Already a double kill. Okay, they'll deal with Ye. You gotta watch out for Zelsis. Luckily, not quick enough this time. The Molly left a small gap, but they had plenty of time left in the end. 10-2. Tom, 3 rounds. We've seen it happen again and again, but with how strong C9 have been, I don't know. Short of the players swapping sides on the stage, I can't expect anything to happen differently in the second half.
Yeah, maybe the wind's blowing in the wrong direction. Maybe PRX just haven't got the luck going their way. But I'm going to give it over to someone who I think actually predicted PRX to win this tournament. How are you feeling, Sue?
Yeah, Seth, how are you feeling? You're also a PRX fan. I'm just going to dodge that completely.
I am a Pacific boy, but unfortunately right now what we're seeing from PRX is much of what we saw at Champions. It feels like they just haven't been able to get back into the groove. They're trying to continuously catch people by surprise. They're trying to pull out some strange strats and whatnot, and it's just falling flat. Cloud9 have the answer at every single twist and turn.
Yeah, it feels like this game is coming down to which team can kind of come up with the more wild strategy, come up with something that is unexpected, and then on top of that, be able to adapt on the fly. And for C9, they came in with a great idea, and PRX has been unable to adapt to it.
Yeah, I mean, we take a look back at some of the setups here. Leaf in particular has been just utterly fantastic for Cloud9 so far. They have the setup, they just make sure that there's no way for PRX to get themselves back into the sites. Vanity has that cutoff angle, just getting himself all the way through B into that mid connector. And PRX just seem completely unawares as to where anybody from Cloud9 can be at any moment.
Yeah, I mean, Vanity's calling has continued to be fantastic here on Pearl. PRX has not had an answer, but a man from the side of Cloud9 that has been absolutely excellent is Leaf. You look at this roster, you expect Ye to be the star, but Leaf, no matter what role he's playing, he is performing impeccably individually. Had a fantastic start to this match on the Killjoy, and now as we look ahead, these are the demons for the side of PRX. If this guy, if Ye, if Vanity continue to play the way they are, it does not feel like there are many ways out for the specific squad.
I guess that would make sense. If Ye himself is El Diablo, then the rest of the team are the demons that surround him, and they are just tormenting the ever-loving hell out of PRX.
Yeah, this is really, really rough. We really hope it doesn't end like this, but of course, if PRX, if they can't pull it back, they will be going home. Mitch and Tom, I really hope they don't.
Look, Sue,
Was that it?
for the sake of your predictions, yeah, I guess we have to hope so.
There you go. They've never lost to an NA team at an international event 2-0.
Oh, good. Well, in that case,
Phoenix
C9,
is not that good on defense. So,
well,
like,
it's
set.
important here that the UI is wrong. C9 are defending, right? That's it. Another nail in the coffin for PRX, who now have to go on the attack up against a team who've been nearly impossible to even scratch the surface of. And this team, by the way, has Ye. He's a pretty good player. He's middle of the scoreboard, Tom, and it's 10-2. Get out of here.
See you later, Ye. Deal with that one. A decent start for Forsaken. He's going to hide within the smoke, play aggressive, just try and get in the faces, just making it work with the Shorty, looking for a little bit more. That one was almost stolen away, and he's going all the way in. Finally be put down, and again, this starts to swing back in the other direction. A couple of kills coming through for the likes of C9, but it's left all onto Leaf. He's had an amazing game so far. This would have to be the best of them. 2 players remain, both playing deep. He has 25 HP.
Good luck to him. Of all the rounds that we've seen, this one surely is where PRX find that third, and there it is. The pistol round going their way. We need to see a lot more than that, but if I'm not mistaken, that's the first pistol they've won. C9 kicked off map 1 with the pistol, kicked off the second half, and then lost the follow-up round, and then answered back, if I recall correctly. Oh no, actually, they did the stinger buy, didn't they? They round 2 stinger bought, and they won the round. So we're 50-50 on pistol, which takes even more excuses out of the hands. For such a one-sided game, C9 look like they're in a different tier.
Well, at least for now, you'd hope this round was safe for PRX. A bit of an investment. Ye with the Marshal is always scary, especially in the position he's in. Waiting for someone to give him just an inch. And that could be enough. Already the tag. Jing will heal himself, but not for a lot.
Not for anything that matters to a Marshal player. Still a shot to the body to take it down, but he won't land the shot. A rare miss from Ye, a good angle from Jing. And we end up with intention to go B canceled. I don't know if it was what they spotted, but whatever's happened, they've made the right call. 4 players stacked up from C9, and PRX are going A.
Yeah, this is a free site. I think C9 just basically playing the bait. Okay, let's see if they come back in our direction. If not, Either we run in, try and do some damage, or literally just die to the spike. It's not going to be the end of the world. They are so ridiculously far in the lead that they don't need to take any real gambles. For PRX, though, keeping this clean is important.
Look where this guy is. Forsaken, he's just sat in mid, lurking on... What?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
He shouldn't have been there. You shouldn't have expected him to be there, and he didn't. And oh, no.
Okay.
That was
Right.
even the angle that he was
gonna-
aiming at on the way
I'm
out,
just
Tom.
going to make a plea. I know we like troll replays. I know, I understand.
Don't do it, please.
I
Come on.
understand production. We like troll replays.
It's always funny.
We like, haha, funnies, he missed.
All right, listen, there's people at 9:30 a.m. sitting in
Yeah.
Singapore cheering their hearts out. I do not
just
want to
this
see a
once.
replay of that, please.
Just this once.
That would be Forsaken. I'll tell you that.
Let's just not, okay?
I'm
Let's
just waiting.
not.
They're going to do it, Tom. I know they're going to do it.
I know, it'll probably be in slow-mo as well.
Oh, yeah. Run it back a few times, little rewinds, little, oh, there's the
Yeah.
first bullet again in case you missed it. We know how it goes. We're used to it by now. I'm just hoping for once.
No. Oh, we get it from the other
Okay, you know what? That's fine. That's good. I
it-
like that
we get
replay.
it from the
That
other
shows a good shot from Leaf, and we don't need to
Yeah.
pretend we didn't see the first few bullets. All good. Great reaction. Great prediction. Whew. This has been not the game that I expected since round 16 of map number 1.
Forsaken as a judge.
Yes,
He's going to do the
he
same
does.
thing again. He's going to do exactly the same thing again. Now, they've put a lot of their killjoy utility a lot deeper, so he's likely going to get hit by quite a lot of it as he tries to make his way through. This is a pretty bold attempt to try and do this when going into this sort of round.
He's got his flash in his hand. He's ready to pop this for the contact of Leaf. There it is. The smoke goes up. It actually keeps Leaf fully able to see, and he's taken
Nice.
Forsaken down. Denial of that strategy that netted so much inside of that pistol. Nano to push Jing back. No plan for now, but that wall has to be broken.
Yeah, they've done well already. Zephyr with another will take Divide. They're getting absolutely nothing. Cloud9 again. It almost just seems like a blip on their radar. The second they try and redo a strategy, it's already been figured out. It's already been countered. Well, Benkai, he at least has a rifle.
There's a Nano.
He might be able to steal the spike. Can just try and fall away. The thing is, though, you can already see on the other side of the map, it's being patiently held by Vanity, so there's not anywhere to go back to, and they've only got 30 seconds.
Man's already got his Nanos down for post plant, but it doesn't look like we're going to make it there. Cloud9 again have the answer. A beautiful response. You can see the thought, and this is what I'm saying. PRX, they have ideas that catch teams off guard, but just look at that round. Cloud9 are adapting. They are so fluid. They were so fluid on Lotus on their defense.
Yeah.
The writing was on the wall there, but this is truly just an outrageously clean performance.
Yeah.
Even here, did you see that? The last bullet that broke the wall, one more went through, and it killed the planter. Just...
Oh, a well-regimented, impressive team fighting the flames of PRX. Now they need this orb. They need to get themselves that Blade Storm, something extra to play with, give Forsaken away through.
He's gonna line up!
Okay, he has just tapped his way in.
Oh, that's one way to do it, man. Just straight through the wall. Just guess. He might be here. Yep. There he is. Quick headshot. Does the business. C9. Man disadvantage to start with. Flash from Zalsis. Trying to catch them when they push up after the lockdown. The trade there, not fantastic. They keep going PRX's way. One return. Mind Freak, Forsaken Jing on their way towards this site still with that lurk coming in. Oh, that's a great flash.
The no-look. He's just flexing on him. And Zephyr now has a chance. Now the wall is going to be broken. A player on the other side, Forsaken, doesn't land the shot immediately. Flash very far away from being back online, but Seekers might give it to him.
Smart.
It is going to be the res instead, but he's going to go swing it on in. What is that from Zephyr? He just eliminates everyone. Basically sends PRX home and puts 12 on the board for C9. How on earth does he win that?
That That is one of the greatest clutches that I have ever seen. That man peeked while reloading to make sure the player didn't walk back out of spawn, swung in knowing that the spawn player would be point of contact, and knowing that Sage was going to go for the res. That is just outrageous. He predicted exactly how they were going to play that. An ace to close it 12-4. They have 8 chances to eliminate PRX, the team that at international events they've been many a time. They have never lost an opening matchup. They've never lost to North America, rather, period. 2-0 in their international record, and here we go.
Well, records sometimes they're made to be broken. They're about to change the history books, and unfortunately for PRX, it looks like they're on the wrong side of it. We knew that today was going to be a heartbreak. We knew that a team that have fans around the world hoping they're going to be the shining star of this event will be sent home in dead last. And C9, I'm going to be honest, a lot of the time I see a pause here, and I'm thinking they're making them stew in it. I don't think that's the case.
No.
I think it's the fact that if you watch Leaf's face after the clutch comes through from Zephyr, honestly, I think he almost fell off his chair. So
Yeah.
they're going to need a moment just to breathe.
Right. Of course he did. I'm surprised the monitors are still standing for every player. Damn near broke ours. 8 chances in a nearly impossible run back. Cloud9, they should feel relaxed. They should feel like it's in the bag, and they call the timeout for PRX on the other side of that stage. This is the biggest challenge they have ever faced, without a doubt.
If they weren't broken before, they definitely are now. I don't care how strong your mental fortitude is. I don't care how much experience you've got in FPS titles, how much your coach has trained for these sort of moments. You lose a clutch like that puts your opponent on map and series point and sets you towards elimination. It's so hard to keep the mental strength up. Even if, like we see from Forsaken interviews, we're playing for fun, this is where things get serious.
Seeing Cloud9 perform this well, you know, people at home might hear the surprise and think, well, how are you surprised C9 are this good? It's nothing to do with C9's ability. We didn't doubt that coming in. It's what's on the other side. It's the team that they are doing this to. Like we said, over 700 days together as a 4-man squad, they have reached some of the highest heights. And this might be where they finally fall early on in a tournament, their opening match, an elimination this time, and when it finally matters the most, it doesn't look like they've got the response. That wall up top, he's already down below, yay, wanting to take a shot, but he's not given an opportunity, and now he's starting to rotate. Okay, I was expecting him to keep going a little bit when I saw him move past the box, but he is just going to tuck in here. We're going to have a very slow round play out while PRX cautiously move through. They are worried about an operator at every turn.
Yeah, I don't really blame them at this point. Vanity still jump spotting, just making sure that any information could be had, and Mindfreak is gone.
You horrible person. He has that wall up, and you see that they're immediately like, okay, yeah, he's on top of the wall. He's going to peek from on top of the wall. He's going to peek from on top of the wall. Then the dude just swings into connector and kills you.
Ooh. Almost goes down. That's at least something. Low on HP.
Going to get a heal.
It's going to be
30
forced
seconds
to go back. Orb taken as well from Zelsis. That's going to put the run it back online. They can literally just play retake on this B site. You're going to have so much space to be taken. And well, now, it will be an afterplant. But other than that, there's not a lot to play with. Are they not going to give it? Not going to give it to Benkai? No, instead, Forsaken is actually going to go aggressive. I was thinking maybe he'd go and try and get that lockdown into play. Zelsis already finding another. It's left all onto Ben. This kill won't even grant him anything. He needs an instant shot and it's done. It is over. C9 have destroyed PRX, sent them home packing in a couple of hours. And while PRX, unfortunately, is going to be a long, long flight home. But for the American fans, Mitch, they look good.
They absolutely do. If you're a North American fan, this is the team whose flag you want to be waving right now. We've talked about El Diablo as undoubtedly the best and most consistent player in the world. He has just come in here. He's not even in the top 3 of his team. He's not even on the top 5 of the server. The depth that C9 are playing with here is unreal. And that means we have to say bye-bye to PRX. We are sending them home. A feat normally reserved for teams towards the end of a tournament. We've barely even gotten to see them here.
Yeah.
They won 12 rounds total.
This is a team you hate to lose, be it for their personality, their play style, or even just Benkai's outfits. That alone can be enough to hope that they stay through, but I think they're a team that we know are going to be strong coming back into the Pacific League this year. They came up against the super team of C9, a squad that when they were formed was expected not only to win matches versus good teams, but to win titles. That is the goal that Cloud9 have come in with this year, and they have burst onto the scene, onto this stage, and they have obliterated PRX.
MCE, the former guard coach, and now it looks like this might be the new guard. The team that everyone will look to beat as they 2-0 one of the strongest teams we have on the global scene. The smiles, that says it all. The crowd was behind them the whole way. But the fact that they have managed to leave PRX with not enough rounds to win a single map, if you compiled both of them together, I did not expect this at the start of the day. I think that's pretty clear for everyone at home. You expected this to be a close game, but even the way things started, 16 rounds in, we thought we have a game on our hands.
Well, that's the thing, Mitch. Correct me if I'm wrong, but does this not set up the grudge match now of them versus DRX? Is that what we're seeing in the next round? Because that's the thing. We talk about this new C9 in the lights of like the new Sentinels, another super team that's been built, 100 Thieves, a squad that just upgraded a bit, and that was enough for them to become an incredible team on this stage. But DRX are one that have changed basically nothing, come close to winning champions last year. So it's a different beast altogether from PRX, but at the same time, if I'm DRX, even after going close earlier in the day, losing a map, I'm going to sit there and go, I don't want to face that. Because what have you learned? You've learned that the structure's impeccable. You've learned that Leaf and Zeppa coming onto this international stage for the first time in a while look incredible. And you've learned that, well, Yay, Zelsis, and also Vanity, they're pretty good at the game as well.
Ye went 11-9 in that game. That might be one of the worst games I've ever seen from him, and one of the best games I've ever seen from his team. Let's talk about the player of the match, because this is quite the discussion. Even in that game, Leaf and Zeppa tied up, but with Zeppa's clutch, he might end up walking out with this. We've got Ye and Zeppa
it's unusual
as your match
that
MVP.
I'll sit there and go, oh no, El Diablo shouldn't be taking it. He had a great first map, don't get me wrong, but Zeppa was just insane. Like,
really
they didn't even necessarily need some of the crazy rounds that he took home, but he still managed to do it, and in style as well, showing that there is some incredible depth to this team. I don't really mind too much who wins this one, but I would lean Zeppa's way.
If you vote for Ye, you didn't watch the game. I think that's pretty clear. Leaf, Zeppa, Zelsis, they absolutely annihilated Zelsis. Brought lots of value on the Phoenix in some moments, but altogether, although that could have been what drew our eye, although Ye could have been, in the end, it was a left field play. Leaf started it off well, Zeppa closed it out. An ace in there, one of the best I've seen. So much to say about that. We'll let the analyst desk do it after the break.
this is going to be the big one here. It is North America's brand new super team versus pretty much APAC's best.
Oh, he's actually managed to get past it. Jing just goes blast backing through and gets 2.
Goodbye, fine.
Oh, what? He's walked up behind Zeppa! I can't believe Cloud9 got away with that! Rocket launcher out, the showstopper!
They've got to try and spam already. It's just mixed up. Leaf's just going all the way. He's going to get it all the way through. That is ridiculous. He just stuck it all the way through.
13-8. Absolute decimation on PRX's map pick. As Cloud9 have shown, they are here to play. They're actually stood there waiting. Very smart not to push the elbow up against the pistol.
Boys.
Gives a chance again in this round. Benkai tries something crazy. They're taking damage, but every peak just hands Leaf a kill.
Oh!
Oh, guys.
Flash very far away from being back online, but Seekers might give it to him. It is going to be the res instead, but he's going to go swing it off it. What is that from Zappa? He just eliminates everyone, and it's done. It is over. C9 have destroyed PRX, sent them home packing in a couple of hours. And while PRX, unfortunately, is going to be a long, long flight home.
And that was the Prime Gaming post-match highlights. Welcome back, everybody. I've got Mimi and Kilios with me once again on the desk. It is hard not to get excited about this Cloud9 team now, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it really is difficult to not get excited about it. Also also very difficult to try to not get worried about their match versus DRX, which is going to be coming up in a couple days. Because, damn, they look really, really good.
I mean, that was just such an incredible series across the board for Cloud9. I think they came into both of these maps with compositions that people were probably like, what are they cooking? What is going on with this one? And I feel like both were implemented so incredibly well. Here on Pearl, they looked completely in control of this match all the way through. It's a lot of new. It's a Phoenix on Pearl. It's Yay on a new agent with the Sage. But as you can see from a few of the rounds here, they always were able to completely shut down, particularly in that second half.
Yeah, it was just great. I mean, how many collats did Yay get during this map? It was definitely at least 2 of them when it came down to those operators, but he was on fire, you know, coming out with the battle stage. Celsius having a really nice performance with that Phoenix, playing those close core angles fantastically with the flashes. A couple moments where it felt like we should have had a flash. Vanity pushing through that Cosmic Divide without having any util to back it up in particular. But aside from that, the score says it all. There were so few mistakes here from the side of Cloud9, and it just, again, felt like there was absolutely nothing PRX could do to try to get themselves back into this series.
Yeah, credit to Vanity and MC in particular, because, I mean, just the way that they were reading into PRX in that map was so incredible. They realized the win conditions of their opponent's Sage compositions, always had a setup to cancel that out. I mean, you do not see teams beat PRX like that. That is such an achievement for Cloud9.
Yeah, you don't indeed. And I think that round also showed, right? Forsaken, he dashed in with a shorty on pistol. It worked. It was incredible. But when he tried to do it again, Cloud9 like, we know that's what you do. And they shut them down straight away. And I think that's what's so scary about it, because we talk about expect the unexpected, but Cloud9 pretty much expected everything. They counted it every single time.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't know what to expect heading into the series. They could have had no way of knowing what PRX was going to play unless they had some magic behind them. They just made the adaptations to shut it down.
Yeah, it's just really good round-over-round adaptation coming out from Cloud9, and that's something that's really, really scary. That's such a great skill to have, and it makes it so difficult for other teams to try to, you know, plan and counter-strat against you, because if you can just adapt to whatever the enemy team is doing on the fly, then that counter-striking only goes so far. And PRX, unfortunately, it's going to be back to the drawing board for them ahead of VCT Pacific. They've got a long flight home, and that is going to be weighing on their minds for that entire 25-plus hour trip back to Singapore.
Yeah, it's brutal, especially since it's not like you're getting dumpstered on by Yay, the best player in the world. It was every single member of Cloud9 that was stepping up and having an insane individual performance. No one was sleeping there.
Yeah, and I gotta say, PRX, I cannot believe they're out already. Single elimination, it is pretty brutal. I'm also sad that we only got to see one Benkai walkout. I needed to see more, but I mean, this is the thing, right? Sometimes the teams, maybe they didn't have enough time in the off-season to pull things together, but luckily they will have time to get it right for the split in APAC.
And the Snail to finally come out on stage for the first time, and he can wear a rabbit outfit to go to the airport because it was in record pace. And it's unfortunate, and I can only only hope really that they go back and they really start deep diving, getting ready for VCT Pacific, because right now, this PRX, I do have to question from what I said earlier, are they actually going to be the second best team in the region, or will they start falling down the ranks? Because this performance did not instill much confidence in me.
Yeah, it was tough. I liked what they showed us in the first half of Lotus, but other than that, it felt like they had no way into the rest of this match, which is a very worrying sign. So going into the Pacific League, they're going to have to do a reckoning, really spend some time with this team, getting things set to hopefully return to the heights that we know PRX can hit.
I mean, this is the way the bracket goes, right? Someone had to go home today, and unfortunately that was PRX. But before the break, we asked you to vote for the player of the match. The votes are in, and I can now reveal to you guys that you have voted for Zeppa as your player of the match. Not often do you see a player beat Ye, but I think this is a pretty well-deserved one.
Yeah, I mean, Ye had some flashy moments. So Collat's in there. He was able to climb the standings on that first map of Lotus from where he was kind of mid-tabling in the first half. But Zeppa, I mean, especially after he got that ace clutch, playing off the back of the enemy Sage Rez, gets in there, manages to get that transfer spray to close it all out. It was gorgeous, and of course, he was going to be able to take this.
Yeah, Zeppa, the MVP there, but I think, again, every one of these players looking fantastic. I think it is fair to say that this well and truly is the super team that North America has wanted.
Yeah, and we saw that Vanity was so animated out there. I want to hear what he has to say after that match, because he is standing by right now with Tom Biz in the Verizon post-match interview.
Thank you very much, Sue. I am joined by in-game leader Vanity, who, of course, you're looking pretty happy after that one. I think you made that look, I'll be honest, I was casting, you made that look too easy. I wanted a longer game.
You know, sometimes things don't go the way that teams plan. Things went to our plan, but not theirs, obviously. But I mean, it was a fun match. I mean, it was a little close. Lotus was probably closer than it looked, but Pearl was pretty one-sided. Like, we had no worries at all in Pearl.
So I want to be honest with you. I was at Red Bull Homeground. A lot of people watched that event and they went, oh, maybe C9 aren't quite as good as like we think they are. I'm going to go back Sentinels now. Like, they kind of moved away from supporting what was the super team. Do you think you proved them wrong after that one?
I mean, it was one match. I don't think that's nearly enough. But I don't know. I mean, it was Homeground. Like, we were just playing default comps. Like, we weren't changing a bunch of stuff. Like, we weren't at, like, because we know the meta is going to change. There's no way that we went into another year with like a full like broken chamber as it was. And then, I mean, Raze just got nerfed too, so I mean, we put a lot more prep into this for sure than the Red Bull tournament. We just use that as like a first tourney as a team, because I think that the match experience helped us a lot. It definitely changed how we played here, I think, having the experience playing in that tournament.
So you mentioned the meta. I came into this event, or at least after the last couple of weeks, going, Stinger's dead, Chamber's dead, and then you went into the first map, and you won multiple force buys with the Stinger, and I think Ye top fragged on Chamber. So is everyone wrong, or did you just do that to kind of screw with people?
We got lucky. I don't know, but I mean, I think people over-exaggerate nerfs.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same thing happened when Astra got nerfed, for example. Like, people thought she was completely dead. The same thing happened. Like, Chamber is not the same agent. He's not going to take over games nearly as frequently, but he still has like a really strong place. But I think you have to have comps around him as the thing. And then what was the other part? Sorry.
There was Stinger and Chamber.
Oh, the Stinger. I mean, the Stinger nerf is just a price nerf. Like, they didn't nerf the gun. Like, yeah, the damage fall off is a little worse, but it's like, if you're taking those fights with a Stinger, that's probably not the right way to use it, right? So I don't know. I think people tend to overreact to stuff and give up on it because they want to try something new.
So coming into this one, people said PRX, they're the hardest team to prep against. Like, it's going to be really difficult for you coming into this game. You made that one look quite easy, I'll be honest. You've got DRX next as your next game. Are you feeling any worry at all about that, or is it just another day at the office for C9?
I mean, we beat them last time, so obviously, like, it's gonna be a good game. It was close, but I'm really excited to play them again because they improved a lot. I think in the year that I didn't make events because we were bad last year, you know. But no, I'm super excited to play them. They were probably one of the most fun matches I've played in Valorant when we beat them to get out of groups in Champs 2021. So I mean, it's hard to prep though because there's nothing to prepare, right?
Yeah.
Like, nobody knows vetoes, nobody knows anything. Like, I don't know. It'll be fun for sure.
Well, as always, absolute pleasure talking to you, Vanity, and best of luck in your game versus DRX. Either way, back to you, Sue.
Thank Thank you very much. Tom, I'm glad that he brought up the last time they faced each other because, Seth, that felt like so long ago. It was the group of death. You know, DRX were meant to make it out. So I feel like there's a bit of a revenge on the card here.
Oh, there's revenge against this entire team because it's that roster there of Cloud9. You've got Ye, who they have yet to beat. So there is a lot on the line here for DRX, a lot of redemption that they can achieve if they take down Cloud9 in that series.
Well, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves because that's still a few days away. But for now, let's take a look at the HyperX Reflex moment of the match. And this one was absolutely insane. I think all three of us were on the edge of our seat for this. And Mimi, I cannot believe how this ended this round.
I mean, what a brutal way to end this match.
He has to do the double take.
Yeah. Double take, still wins the fight, and continues on to be able to miraculously win this 1 versus 4. I guess 1 versus 5 with the resurrection coming in there. Zeppa, it has been so long since we've seen him on an international stage, but he really showed up to impress.
Just absolutely gorgeous transfer and spray control there at the very end to get it, and it's just a brutal way. I mean,
could not believe it.
Yeah, I mean, look at Vanity ripping the headset off. We're talking about how animated he was. He's yanking his headset off because he can't believe it. He's waving goodbye to PRX at the end of the series. He's really fired up, and DRX, if they can't shut down that energy from the side of Cloud9, then they're going to have a really rough go of getting a win.
That's just like a GG go next moment. What can you do, you know? Just have to take the defeat there. Now, thank you for sticking with us today. It was a long day, but tomorrow we have even more games for you. Let's take a look at the bracket so you guys know how things stand and what is coming up. As you guys can see, 5 teams, guys, have already been eliminated, and 3 more, Mimi, will be going home tomorrow.
That is brutal to think about. We are already nearly to our top 8, and the game tomorrow are going to be really exciting. We get to see the debut for both EG and Heretics. We get MIBR versus that new talent squad, or I guess a new look for that squad. And then Jeji, another Korean team for you there, Seth, versus the home team, the reigning champs in Loud.
Yeah, and that is going to be a tough one. It's going to be the one that rounds out the evening, and I'm excited to see what happens there. Loud, of course, you know, unfortunate that we had to delay the match because they were feeling under the weather, but now they're going to be taking to the stage. They're going to have that home crowd, and I'm sure it's going to be absolutely packed in here, and it is going to be just full of screaming fans. For Gen.G, a lot of those players, I mean, Meteor, he's got some experience. They have experience in maybe some other games, but they haven't been on the international stage in Valorant, so this will be a first for a lot of them, and I'm wondering if they're going to be able to cope with that many Brazilians just yelling at them, hoping that they lose.
I can't wait to see it. Tomorrow, as you guys have mentioned, we've got Heretics versus EG, MIBR versus Talon, and of course, rounding the day off, Gen.G versus Loud, the first Brazilian team here, and also the returning champs as well. So thank you once again, like I said, for sticking with us. Thank you for watching. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
E aí, galera, everyone, and welcome. Love is in the air, but you want to know what else is in the air? Maybe some upsets. Hello and welcome to day 2 of the lock-in. And here we go. A matchup that everyone is excited to see. 2 teams, unknown commodities across the board. Who knows what we're going to get in this epic matchup?
Carmine Corp somehow weathered that storm that was going on in B. This game is bizarre, Mike. Yeah, it's going to be a shutdown. Lovely. Carmine Corp, light work. And it's a 13-6 map 1 here. Good tag, falls back, gets the frag, looks for the bomb. Oh! Stunning shot, needs another. He's got support now. Great work. Naturally, we're seeing Carmine Corp folding here. Being folded over by FBM. Shin, though, gets a free chance at it. He gets 1. Carmine Corp desperately trying to fight and falling to FPX. Can you believe it? We're going all 3. Scream still down so low. He needs a 1v1. He's not got it. Why is so good, man? So does do a little bit of damage, but it's new Zero to go farming and Scream to put on a highlight reel.
Vera and Scream up, and Vera finds a collapse. Beautiful retake to close things out. Heartbreak for FPX, who, in my eyes, exceeded expectations.
Before we begin, we wanted to pay our respects to all those impacted by the Turkey and Syria earthquake with a moment of silence. We thank you so much, and of course our hearts and minds are with everyone that has impacted by the tragedy. Now, as we focus on the matchup at hand, you know, there's a lot on the line here.
I think that you are going to see nothing left on the table. Both of these teams is going to give it everything that they absolutely have to walk away victorious.
The space onto the site, another pop flash play. Should make it nice and easy. Lovely little offset and a movement there by Kyush. close to the site, and he knows his position now, and a bit of util will finish it off.
DRX coming away with a well-anticipated, but nevertheless impressive and intimidating map 1 against BBL. Wow, they look scary.
To the back of the site, that is with the spike, but it's cleared back. A reset of the aim zest. Absolute demonic performance. The damage done, still gets the kill, and easy pickings through the smokes. Now, players have to remain cool, calm, and collected, and they are.
Lovely start as Socially cleans up the other players.
BBL gonna claim map number 2 in this series when everything was looking done and dusted.
And DRX has just gone for such a simple approach to this round, keeping it safe.
Nice. It's up to RB to see if he can deny. One after the other! There's no shot in hell. The Hunter's Fury is used to just try and clear the way.
Oh, no way.
2 kills.
Also get Aslan.
Mako is so uncomfortable, but RB returning fire.
And it was a valiant effort from BBL, make no mistake about that. But DRX were in control of this series.
This is going to be the big one here. It is North America's brand new super team versus pretty much APAC's best.
Oh, he's actually managed to get past it. Jake just goes blast backing through and gets 2.
Nice. Oh, what? He's walked up behind. I can't believe Cloud9 got away with that. Rocket launcher out, the showstopper.
They've got to try and spam already. It's mixed up. Leaf's just going all the way. He's going to get it all the way through. That is ridiculous. He just stuck it all the way through.
13-8. Absolute decimation on PRX's map pick. As Cloud9 have shown, they are here to play. And they're actually stood there waiting. Very smart not to push the elbow up against the pistol.
Nice, boys.
Gives a chance again in this round. Benkai tries something crazy. They're taking damage, but every peak just hands Sleep for kill.
Oh!
Oh, nice, guys.
Flash very far away from being back online, but Seekers might give it to him. It is going to be the res instead, but he's going to go swinging on it. What is that from Zappa? He just eliminates everyone. It's done. It is over. C9 have destroyed PRX, sent them home packing in a couple of hours. And while PRX, unfortunately, is going to be a long, long flight home.